All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today, we got a full episode. We're going to do What's on Your Mind, rapid fire Q&A from our Facebook group, play of the week, and then, of course, latest launch. But we've got to start with What's on Your Mind. And Tyler, I'm going to start with you today because, as we will see here in a minute, Lou has had a long day, long night, but this just really shows Lou's dedication to the show. So we'll get more into that in a second. But Tyler, we'll start with you with What's on Your Mind, just so Tyler or Lou and I can see how much time we really have in this segment in case you go a little long today.
If there was ever a week to go long.
Well, it was actually the week I was going to go short. I'll say this. Penn State didn't lose this weekend. The Jets didn't lose this weekend. Manchester United did lose this weekend. But Ryan Tannehill did win last night.
He played well too, right?
He played all right. I mean, he played like he had Derrick Henry in the backfield.
You think Ryan Tannehill was the reason the Bills beat the Bills lost to the Titans? It was Ryan Tannehill.
It was all Tanny, bro. It was all Tanny.
Not Derrick Henry.
Completed his last 15 passes, was leading drives. I mean,
216
feeding his running back the ball right where it needed to be put, right in his chest.
Ty, 216 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception.
He ran one in on a great read option.
Okay.
Look, can he be Ryan Tannehill? He ran very well. It was a great pullback. Yeah, that was dope. What's on my mind? What's on my mind is NBA season starts tonight. And we didn't even we're coming in left field, but we're gonna have to do NBA predictions today because I'm in the building tomorrow. Knicks versus Celtics. I'm going to the opener. I haven't felt this good about a Knicks season in a long time, even though we'll probably win 47 games.
Yeah, we're talking like 7 seed.
Yeah, maybe the 6, maybe the 5.
Okay.
But NBA is back. That's what's on my mind. NBA is back. I'm interested to see what it does to the card market because we finally had a little bit of a break. We finally had a little bit of time away from hoops after what was like 24 months in a row. And I think it's going to be fun to see the league back in action, rocking and rolling. Last thing, don't get all weird. ESPN is bringing NHL back. And it's happening. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but there's definitely more buzz around the NHL than in previous seasons. Simply just by you're watching Monday Night Football last night, and they're firing away some NHL promo.
I've watched more hockey in the last week than I did in the last 3 years combined, probably.
Love it. My man, Chris Kreider, legend.
Yeah,
that's what's on my mind, gang. Short but sweet, succinct. And I'll throw it your way.
Short 6 minutes. Wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, come on.
So definitely wasn't prepared for NBA predictions today, but that makes sense since the NBA starts tonight. Yeah, that'll be a fun talking point here in a second.
Yeah, we might have to chalk that up for L for J, to be quite frank.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely on J on that one.
Yeah.
Lou, you ready for What's on Your Mind?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's on your mind, Lou?
I don't think I'm going to be able to recover in time for this Astros game tonight. That's what I'm thinking about. I think that I've driven like 11 hours in the last 36 hours out of the last 36 hours. So I am in bad shape.
You were up in Boston last night.
Yes. So I drove to Boston for the Astros Red Sox game on Sunday night. I drove over there yesterday afternoon. We got our asses kicked 12-3. It was a beat down for the ages. And I promptly got back in my car and drove from Boston to New Jersey. Got home at around 3:30 last night. So I'm in bad shape. For anyone listening to the show today, if I'm more low energy than usual, that is why.
What were the levels of pain? Let me talk to you a little bit.
I'll say this: I don't think I've ever been in more pain at a sporting event in my life.
When did they was it a second inning? I'm again.
Yeah, they hit a grand slam.
Not a baseball guy. They had a salami in the second inning. And the
Salami in the second inning.
And so then you just had to power through misery.
And it was just absolute pain and unending pain because we came back and scored 3 runs in the 5th inning to make it 9-3 because they hit a grand slam and then they scored 5 more runs. So that was cool. So it was 9-0 heading into, I believe, the 5th inning. Yeah, 5th inning. I think it was 9-0. I don't even remember anymore. Kyle Tucker hit a home run, make it 9-3. Gave me a little bit of life.
You guys are kind of back.
Yeah, and then that got squashed with a couple home runs and a couple innings in a row there for the Red Sox. They're just the hottest team in baseball, and I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to respond to that as a baseball fan of a team that just hits home runs every inning. They just hit home runs every time. So I don't really know what to do about that. I will say I would love to know what Kike Hernandez's cards are selling for right now because that guy is going to get a massive deal soon. I'm not sure if his contract ends this year or next year, but Kike is going to get like big money.
Who is that?
Kike Hernandez plays for the Red Sox now. He used to play for the Dodgers for a number of years. He's always been he's been a good player, but his hitting numbers haven't translated. And he's currently hitting, I believe, .515 in the playoffs with like six home runs or something like that. That's through 5. They played 4 games. This is the 3rd game. They played 7 games. He has 5 home runs. And he's hitting 5-something. So he's just on fire.
He's got not much on eBay right now.
Not a lot of juice. I thought it might be like
I don't think there's much 2015
available.
Tops update. Yeah, 26.
It's like Randy Arozarena, Rye, if you remember what happened with him last year. I think it's kind of like that.
He's got a little Tops now.
He always has Tops now.
Lou, who's coming out of the NL?
It's 2-0 Braves right now. They're going back to LA for 3 games with the Dodgers. I would imagine the Dodgers figure out a way to win that series. They're definitely the better team. Shout out to all the Braves fans. They're definitely the better team. So we shall see. Also, in case you didn't know, Kike Hernandez was an Astro. So I believe all of his first cards are Astros cards. So that hurts too.
That's pain. If as a Yankee fan, if it's Sox, Braves, that's pure pain. Those are the teams that
is by far the best case scenario for sure.
Is it?
For what?
Me, absolutely.
Why?
I hate the Astros and I hate the Dodgers. I don't hate the Dodgers like I hate the Astros, but like definitely like the Braves.
Why do you?
Like, I just have friends that are Braves fans. Like,
you have no reason to hate
the Braves one.
Everyone hates Astros, though.
Yeah,
everyone hates the Astros, brother.
Brian, talk me through why you hate the Astros. That's because you're a big baseball fan.
Brother, they're cheaters.
Yeah,
that's great. Do you watch a lot of baseball?
No, Lou, we've gone into this conversation before.
People hate the Astros.
I know. We deserve it.
Lou, I don't want to kick you while you're down. That's why I wasn't trying to get into the Astros, brother. Like,
I'm in bad shape right now. I'm so sad.
Could be a Yankee fan.
I'd rather be a Yankee fan at this exact current situation.
They do have 27
Even with re-signing Boone this morning?
I saw that. If I had any energy today, and if the Astros put up any sort of fight last night, it would have been bad. But I can't right now. But I can't believe they re-signed.
Mr. Ryan.
All right.
What's on your mind?
I don't really have a clear what's on my mind today. So, Tyler, I kind of feel like like most mornings. So maybe we'll just, start rapid fire.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Went to a CBJ game the other day. Little
nice
game. Electric.
Who do they have? Max Domi?
Yes. First time it was game 2. They played the Kraken. First time the Kraken had come to town. So that was really, really cool.
Dope.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And
what was it fun? You had nice seats. Yeah, I saw you had some decent seats. But what made it fun? Just hockey is amazing, or what?
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot different when you go to the game, right? And our seats were good, and like the Jackets are down 1-0 to like the halfway point of the third, then score and tie it up, and it's 1-1, and then it's like back and forth. It's like the game's almost over. Then it goes to OT, right? 3-on-3, and then Line A just buries one in overtime, and it was a Saturday night game, so it was pretty busy. It was fun. It was a good time.
Nice.
So we had another thing. we had kids trade night Friday in shop.
Saw that.
That was really cool. 14 and under had those guys in shop Friday night. That was a blast.
Give me a quick takeaway on that. Like, what products were the hottest, starting with even sport? Like, what was kind of any insights or takeaway from that?
A lot of football, right? So we tried to highlight, like we did a YouTube video on it, try to highlight some of the trades. A lot of football. Yeah, I mean, it was
quarterbacks.
I mean, honestly, they were trading anything.
That's what I mean. Like, a lot of position guys.
I mean, dude, they were, kids were excited to show their like $5 trades. Like, it was just enjoying the hobby. It was really, really cool. Shout out to Panini for some help on that for sure. But then I got up early Saturday morning, so we didn't leave the shop till about 10:30, 11. Got up at like 5:50 and drove to a show Saturday morning in Indy. Had higher expectations for it. It was a good show. Just didn't buy a whole lot. Picked up some Brady stuff. It just sucks when Ohio State football's not on Saturdays. Right? Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State didn't play Saturday, and it was just like
weird.
Shouldn't they like stagger that a little bit?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because we talked about that last week when like I was talking to Tyler. I was like, I don't think Penn State's off this week, and I'm like, no, they're all three off. That's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah, it seems odd to not have those three teams, all three of those teams off. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go to Chantilly this weekend, card show in Virginia. I think I'm going to head there this weekend.
Me too.
Are you?
No.
What were you seeing at the indie show? You picked up some Brady. You like kind of snuck that in there.
Yeah, so I picked up like a couple Brady PSA 10 cards. Picked up so rough guess. Just let's ballpark this. Devin Booker, second year Galactic PSA 9. What do you think it's worth? I didn't even look it up. I just saw the price tag and I was like, I want that in a deal. Did a little package deal and got it done. What do you think it's worth? I didn't even look. So Ty, try to do it without looking.
Yeah.
Ballpark. What do you think that's worth?
I'm gonna botch this. Second year. PSA 9.
Yeah, PSA 9 Galactic.
350, 250.
That's a pretty good guess. I would have guessed much higher. I would have guessed like 600. He had 300 on it, and I was like, "That seems like
right."
I'll pick that up.
I agree. I mean, his stuff's come down.
So
across the board,
I did. So I've been honest before about this that I'm not like James Harden's #1 fan. Right? Doesn't do as much for me. But James Harden's I would assume we would agree James Harden's a Hall of Famer at this point.
I think James Harden's a Hall of Famer, and I think plays a bigger role this year than even past. Hopefully he can stay healthy, obviously down the stretch, but I mean, so one less dude in that locker room.
I picked up an exquisite rookie auto of Harden at a 99 and a first-year Prizm silver.
He doesn't have a lot of autos, does he?
I'm not sure. I would be lying if I told you I knew that.
I feel like I haven't seen many.
Yeah, but I picked up both of those. Spent about an hour and a half going through a quarter box.
Nice.
Yeah, it was I just enjoy the show scene so much. It's just so much fun. Ty, you look puzzled.
Just checking out some Harden stuff. I mean, what do we think on Harden? He's got to win a ring, right? Or
yeah, I don't see it. I feel like people are kind of checked out on that guy, like permanently.
You don't think if the Nets win the title this year without Kyrie and he's the 2, you don't think that helps us?
I don't think people like the Nets very much to begin with.
Fair.
So I don't think that'll help.
Yeah, yeah. A guy that if he really doesn't have that much, he's on a good team. He's one of the better players of the last 15 years.
He's awesome.
I'm not telling you like I'm like, hey, I'm pro James Harden. I saw it and I was like, I've spent money on worse.
The narratives, he's like, I believe a guy that if they do win and he does his thing, he could explode. But he's also just an interesting cat.
That whole team's full of interesting dudes.
An interesting cat. Loves his strip clubs. Just loves to get outside. I just don't know if they really got the guts for the win.
You know what was weird that he was doing when he was just running around Paris with Lil Baby? Like, what was that? Like, what was he doing?
Checking out the fashion scene.
He was just hanging. I get it. Like, it's cool. It's just like a different thing.
Getting a little Parisian. But I think he could be a dude that explodes. That goes next level.
All right, so let's just transition right out of that, right before we get into the rapid fire. Let's do NBA predictions.
Okay.
So first,
we're starting with MVP, Rookie of the Year. How do we want to do this?
Rookie of the
Lay
Year.
it out.
MVP.
Oh my god.
And
Lou's buried.
Let's do one more, Ty. You want to do Defensive Player of the Year or Most Improved?
Oh wow.
We got the one in. We got the little
Can we keep it light? Can we keep it light?
No, we gotta go Rookie of the Year. We gotta go MVP. Are we doing
let's pick who's gonna win the 3-point competition this year. I think that'll be good.
I'll do that. I'm in.
Ryan, you're the best. All right. Let's do it. I'm a Rookie of the Year. I'm taking my guy on OKC. The point guard. Yeah. Ash Giddey, Rookie of the Year. The total left field take, but that's my guy, and I'm going to ride it out.
I got to look. I know who I want to pick. I just want to make sure there's nobody I really like more. Cade Cunningham is the favorite. I don't want to pick Cade Cunningham. Not that he won't win it.
He won't.
Cade Cunningham's the best. That's what I want to pick, but.
All right, I have an announcement to make.
Give it to me.
I have to go first because I have to go get my coffee, or else I'm gonna die.
Okay. What do you got?
All right, I have Kevin Durant MVP.
Okay.
I have Jalen Green Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
What else are we doing?
Finals matchup and winner.
Finals matchup. I'll go Nets Mavs.
Mavs?
Yep.
So you're like, you think Luka's still matters?
It's just a big year for Luka, and they make a deal that matters.
Okay.
Or they burn it down.
Or they burn it down, one or the other. All right, I'm gonna be right back.
All right, so Ty, I guess we're just gonna do those two.
Yep.
So Rookie of the Year and MVP.
My Rookie of the Year is Giddey. My MVP is Giannis.
Mm-hmm. Would that be 3-time MVP?
Yes.
That'd be 3 in a row.
Yep. I think no, he's not coming off back-to-back. Did he win it last year?
I thought he's back-to-back.
I got him. I wanted to take Steph Curry, but I just don't know. Nah, Jokic won it.
Oh, yeah. But he won the 2 before that, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then for the finals, I won't just be a homer like I am and everything else and take the Knicks. But I've got the Bucks Warriors. Got a Bucks Warriors final with the Warriors taking the chip.
All right, so I'm going to pick the Warriors in the finals.
Okay.
I was hoping I would be the only person that would do that, but yeah,
I'm dialed in.
Yeah. I like that pick a lot. So I'm going to go Warriors in the finals. Now the question is it going to be the East, right? Are we picking the Bucks? Are you going Nets? Is this the Hawks year or the Heat back? Man, there's a lot of teams you could pick with this. I mean, the easy pick's the Warriors. I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to take Miami. there's enough talent on that team, right? Hopefully my guy Hero does something this year.
So keep going because I have a Tyler Hero comment.
So I'm going Heat Warriors in the finals. MVP, I'm going Luka. I agree with Lou that Luka has a big year.
You gave him MVP nod?
MVP. Yep. Luka for MVP. Rookie of the year. I don't see anyone else on this list that I would pick outside of Jalen Green. I like Jalen Green a lot. Maybe Jalen Suggs for the Magic, Mobley for the Cavs, but for me, it's Jalen Green. So I would lock in Jalen Green as Rookie of the Year.
I think Grayson Allen is a better Tyler Hero.
Interesting take.
I think what people think Tyler Hero is, I think he would be fortunate to end up with the career that Grayson Allen has and will have. I think Grayson Allen is a big piece for the Bucks this year, and I think that he's a player. And I think that all the hype that Tyler Hero's got, you should look at Grayson Allen, body of work he's been putting in. He's a big piece for the Bucks.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to be really, really good again. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this year. There's a lot of teams that could be really, really good, but I think you're also going to see some teams take some step backs. A step back.
As a Knicks fan, I just want to bash everyone, and it starts with the Hawks, but really I want to bash Boston because I like bashing Boston in general. But yeah, the Knicks will compete. The Knicks will compete in a lot of games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I just, like I said, if we said right now it was, there's 5 teams from each conference, you could be like, yeah, they make the finals. You'd be like, yeah, I could see that. I don't think it's like in the years past when it's like the Warriors, Cavs lock it up 4 straight years or whatever it was.
The Jazz, I guess, are a sneaky team.
Yeah, I mean, so are the Nuggets.
The Nuggets are, but they don't have Jamal Murray.
Yeah, they're to get Murray back late.
Yeah. And PJ could get
Jazz,
most improved.
weren't the Jazz like the 1 or the 2 seed last year?
Yeah, they were nasty.
Yeah, I mean, like the Nets, right? I mean, even without Kyrie Irving, are still amazing. Harden and KD, right? You got the Bucks.
I mean, the odds to win the chip right now goes Nets, Lakers, and then it's a drop off. Warriors and Bucks are the same. Then it's a drop off. Suns, Jazz, Clippers, Sixers are like that next tier. Then it goes to Nuggets, Heat, Mavericks.
Hey, the Heat. What, 12?
Yep. The Heat are, something like that. 3, 6, 9 to the 10th.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the Lakers have what? Carmelo, Russ, AD, LeBron.
Mm-hmm. From a cards perspective, I believe Russ Westbrook has a lot of potential upside. I mean, he could.
2 Russell Westbrook cards in my entire collection.
He could back his way into an MVP type conversation. Now, I know he hasn't had the greatest preseason, turning the ball over, everything, but that team will win a lot of games. And if he's going full throttle, and he's got Bron, AD, Melo, people can forget about Russ West and where he's at, the body of work he's put up. I'd be interested in looking at some of his stuff.
All right, Lou, you ready? You're back.
Oh, Lou's back?
You ready for some rapid fire Q&A?
Yeah, I just learned that Kanye changed his name legally.
To Ye.
To Ye.
Legally.
Kind of big news. My door's opening. I'm ready for rapid fire, though.
All right, so this is rapid fire, where Jason grabbed some questions from our Facebook page. Shout out to Jay for that. If you guys want to be a part of this in the future, make sure to follow Card Talk on Facebook. So this is from Eric X. Is it Eckstein? It says, What's your favorite underrated set to collect? So essentially outside of Prizm, Chrome, etc.
Underrated set to collect.
Hello.
I will tell you, mine is Phoenix.
Let's go on.
Phoenix football. Looks a lot like a Prizm, Chrome, Refractor type card. I have a Mahomes 2017 Phoenix rookie PSA 10. They look very similar to like a Prizm silver type vibe for a fraction of the cost. I think the cards are cool. They've got nice patch autos, different colors. I would say Phoenix is typically one of my sets that I'm like is under the radar, not mainstream, popular, fun to collect.
Lou?
I'm gonna go with Contenders Optic. All reliable. I think they're just really nice cards. I like the rookie tickets. I like championship tickets a lot. I think for my money, those are the cleanest cards that come out every year.
Lou's always been a big fan of Contenders Optic.
Huge fan. And I think I might be in the minority on that, but big fan. I think they're just super clean.
Yeah, it's two different things for me. It's a little off the path. But I, as people know, have enjoyed collecting and have put together a nice little group of cards numbered 137. So it's not like a specific set, but I've been going down that path and have a nice collection. And then the other is like Euro Cup and World Cup stickers, Panini stuff. So like this is the Rashford. I've just loved a lot of the old school soccer sticker stuff. Different sets, largely Panini stickers, UK based, European based stuff.
Very cool.
That'd be my answer.
All right, so the next question, rapid fire here, is it Chris Riedel? Says, with the way soccer is, how do you think young players in cards will play the market with some confusion with technical rookie cards and seasons? Ty, probably a question more for you.
Okay, let's break this down. With the way soccer is, how do you think certain young players in cards will play the market with some confusion with technical rookie cards and seasons? Okay, so I believe that more than ever, and this is the reality, it's happening in NFTs a lot right now, but look, at some point there's kind of a decision of the masses of what the card is that matters, right? And that's the case for a lot of things, but to start with Mbappe, 2018 World Cup Prism had the, for a long time own the space. Then his 2017 was like, okay, the better card, Topps Chrome. I'm still 2018, but the 2017 is kind of taken over. Okay, but you also have the Panini Foot sticker that has definitely emerged as like the blue chip, rookie. And so I believe that it comes down to timing when the player pops. Because again, like these stickers emerge, and I believe more than ever, it's about the narratives, and those things can change, which I believe presents a lot of opportunity if you're paying close attention to find things. The soccer proper footy market emerged like so fast, and whether it was stickers or old inserts or all this, I believe there's still a figuring it out game. So I think for going forward, it's a little bit more clear. There's so much prospecting. Reminds me a little bit of like baseball stuff, which again, don't get into, but like people are so into these players that have never played an MLB game. I remember when it was Buxton like early on, and now like 5 years later, he's like a good player for like a team. So there is a little bit of that as well. I think there is no clear-cut rookie cards for most players, and it comes down to narrative, storytelling, and what the masses decide on, which can always change, which I believe presents a lot of opportunity if you know what you're talking about and know the markets.
All right. Very, very, insightful, Tyler.
Very astute.
Thoughts, Ryan, because you see it over your time. You've probably seen what was considered a rookie card change.
Yeah, your point is like the market decides. Like, it's not like I'm not educated enough on like the stickers and some of that kind of stuff in the soccer market. I don't follow it nearly as much, right? Soccer is not my forte at all. So leave it to the expert on that.
I have a question though. We all agree that whenever the player, whoever they are, eventually gets a Topps Chrome or whatever, that becomes the card.
It does become the card, but people also the
sticker plays too. but the main card becomes the Topps Chrome the minute they have one.
I would say so. And also the international club thing is a real factor too, with technical rookie cards and seasons. And so again, it comes down to, do you want Mbappe in a France jersey, or do you want him in his PSG kit, or the sticker, which is Monaco? Now, a lot of individuals like that support him for playing for France want that. Or so there's so many nuances to it. And I believe, again, with so many things left unknown, it provides a lot of opportunity to go in and unearth something and create a storyline and narrative around.
Do you think that the country, I kind of think that the country cards are always the safest because guys are going to switch clubs, like they change clothes.
Yeah. Which is also, I mean, Tom Brady plays for the Buccaneers. Like that,
Totally.
that happens in everything, but you don't really get, especially, you're not getting Brady in like an America jersey. Yeah. So I think the international thing is important and matters, but also they don't play as often for them. So it's kind of.
All right. We've got to get back on track here with a little wrap.
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
Sorry. Cody Myden
didn't mean to interrupt you.
I've spent a lot of time on UFC cards over the last couple months. For those for selling those cards, do you think the most profitable future is in trying to prospect future champions or flipping for main event fights? How does grading factor in giving how little it has shown up compared to other sports recent circumstances or given recent circumstances?
Okay.
It is my opinion that you are playing a much safer game if you are buying, obviously Connors and Rose and big names, past champions, and grading them. I think that's a much safer play than trying to pick out guys. What the hell's going on upstairs? Than trying to find guys who might get a title fight in the future, and you're kind of banking on them winning the fight to make money on the cards. I think, especially with first year Prizm and Select, like it's just so much safer, and Chronicles now.
Yeah, to me, I don't think it's any different, Lou, than it is buying Tom Brady and Michael Jordan compared to, Cade Cunningham and Trevor Lawrence, right? Trying to find out who the next person's going to be is a lot riskier. Now, there might be more upside in that, right? If you bet on the next fighter who doesn't have a ton of cards and you've got something graded of them and then they win a fight or get a big fight and then their stuff goes up, right? There is potential in that. That's why prospecting is as big as it is in the hobby now with guys like LaMelo, Josh Allen, Herbert, Luka. Like that stuff matters. People want the future guy when, their time comes. Or before their time comes even. So I think there's potential there, but I agree with Lou that it's definitely a lot safer buying those guys and grading the superstars.
I agree. I would say this. For selling those cards, do you think the most profitable future is trying to prospect future champions or flipping for main event fights? Those to me are kind of the same in terms of prospecting that they're going to get a big fight leading up to the fight. And then the different, he kind of offered Cody offered two different scenarios. I think they're more or less
kind of the same. Yeah.
The other scenario, is your point, is just get the legends and sit on them. Like,
because basically, it feels like to me that if you're gonna buy UFC cards, that means you agree. Like this is how I would play it out in my head. If you're gonna buy UFC cards, you agree that the value of the set and the value of the sport is rising, right? From a pure dollar and cents perspective. So at that point, the question becomes: all right, cool. Would I rather have a past champion in the last 3 years, someone like a Conor McGregor, or would I rather have someone like Sean O'Malley, who's working his way up but hasn't actually achieved that championship?
So Lou, real quick though, because I think this is valuable. Take that same concept, that same advice you just gave about UFC.
Yep.
Does it translate the same way for you to F1 as you say it does for UFC? Are you giving the same advice to F1?
Yes.
So you're buying Lewis and
I'm not buying Max because I just don't believe in Max in that way. But I'm buying Lewis and I'm buying, I'm buying George. That's a little bit of a prospecting play, obviously. Totally. I'm doing both, but I also I've spent far more actual money on Lewis than I have on anyone else.
Gotcha.
Because it's just a safer, obvious play.
Fair. Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
One thing, just to put a bow on it, the last sentence, Ryan, I'd love your thoughts on this. How does grading factor in giving how little it has shown up compared to other sports given recent circumstances. I believe what they're trying to get at is grading important because it's a newer kind of subset of the hobby, so the populations are less because everything's been jammed up. Yeah, what I would say is be careful, because I believe more are to come. So like, you should prepare for an influx of more pop. You shouldn't make a long-term play based on, sometimes people get caught. Like you go to shows and you get hit with like it's a one-on-one, and it's like, it's a one-on-one because no one graded the damn card. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a pop one. I get it. No one else is.
Ty, I agree with you guys that some of the earlier stuff is going to have more stuff show up because that stuff was getting submitted when PSA was at $8 or $10 or $12 a card, a year ago, and they're just catching up to that stuff. But I think it's different on the newer stuff, right? Like, because Chronicles just came out. Mm-hmm. It's probably not likely we see 5,000 Conor McGregor PSA 9s and 10s from Chronicles.
Are you sure?
The price is just so high. Are you grading a McGregor base at 150? Probably not. Not with shipping there and back. You're $200 a card.
Not right now.
Again, probably not right now, sure. But when is it coming back? I think if we go back on the tape, I think you both said PSA is not giving you an option under $100.
Yeah, I don't believe they are. So I think you're making a good point.
When is it? March? So if you're getting it in March and you're submitting at $50 and it's taken 6 months, you're a whole nother year out from some of that stuff. So I think grading definitely matters on the newer stuff. It's got to be the right stuff. But if you find a prospect and you grade their card and you put the money into it, if you believe in them, if that fight comes up and you've got one of the only graded cards of them, I have a hard time believing that doesn't matter.
Totally. I think it's the correct answer is probably a little bit of both and leaning more towards the safe side, especially with newer stuff like this.
Yep. All right. So the next question, is it Joaquin Lagos?
Lagos, yep.
Could you speak to collection protection? Thoughts on vaulting? I see there being more value vaulting where you can sell tips on insuring the collection. Maybe this is more specific to Canada, as I know Beckett offers an insurance option with CIS, but only the U.S. residents. What are some good options out there?
Right. Do you want to start? I can kick off a little bit. First and foremost, if you have cards of value and you're keeping them at your home, at the very least, I'd recommend getting a small fire protected safe on Amazon.com or whatever it may be.
It's like $200. It's well worth it.
Yeah. And you'll get it, and then you'll start to throw some other stuff in there too. But at the very least, humans, if you have stuff of value that you're not carrying with you all day, every day, like your wallet or whatever, you should probably get a fire retardant safe. That's step one. Then the next about vaulting, I see there being more value vaulting where you can sell. Yes, it's happening more and more. Obviously, PWCC's done a good job in terms of vault. I think Golden, Ship My Cards. I don't know if Ship My Cards has a sales functionality to it. I think it's more storage and vaulting. Star Stock, I believe, is now doing it. Alt definitely. So there's a lot of options. My Slabs as well. A lot of options in that regard that you send, they put insurance against it.
And that will continue to grow. Yeah. The $20,000 card that I don't have to touch and I can sell at any time, that, peace of mind, that, making that easy on someone that will continue to grow and continue to be a big part of the hobby. I just have a hard time believing that does not continue to expand in this market as cards get more expensive and more expensive, and you see these card stores and people getting robbed and stuff taken. As the value of the hobby continues to grow and it gets more and more attention, this is going to continue to happen, and places like that will continue to see a bigger increase year over year. I think at some point I have a buddy that helped me when I moved stores out in California. His name's Chris. Used to be a police officer who worked in like security and stuff like that, and was really helpful with setting our store up and gave a lot of insight on it. I would love to have him on here at some point to talk about this kind of stuff and like how you can protect your assets and things, because I learned a lot from it. But Yeah, like Tyler, you mentioned, I mean, you can buy a big, heavy duty gun safe for it's not as expensive as you would think. I think I bought mine for, under $1,000, and they are big and heavy and not
safe.
Yeah. They do exactly what you need them to do. So I mean, I can't recommend that kind of stuff enough. So insurance, I have that's a great place to start. The only problem with that is that's Tyler. The only thing I would say about that is somebody
pick up, walk away with it. Yeah.
Come in, pick it up, walk away, and go home and break it. It doesn't have to be.
If I'm getting robbed, I'm getting robbed. But at the very least, if you wake up and it's a fire,
sure,
should be good.
Sure. Yep. Agreed. In terms of insurance, I don't have any recommendations on that.
There are definitely very straightforward, like insurance policies that you can take out online, for just to cover like collectibles insurance, valuables insurance. There's a couple different policies. Google.com. We don't have to get into it too crazy.
All right. So Jay said we got to wrap this up.
But real quick though, I do want to make one comment because
there's no way you just said we can't.
Vaulting. You send a $20,000 card to a vault. It stays there for a year. So price goes up. Someone buys it, keeps it at the same vault. That person flips it. If you engage in that activity, you should also think about NFTs. You can go to the next question.
James Zacadoni. What do you think causes one set of cards to become more popular than another? For instance, why did Prizm become the hobby's darling while other sets that look as good, if not better than Prizm, lag behind?
I think we've talked about this a bunch. It's very narrative driven, and it's like what everyone decided was the main one.
The market decides.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. And like, there's a lot of things that I don't like that happen in cards every day that don't align with what I would consider to be the best. But unfortunately, when the herd decides that they like something, that's the answer.
Yep.
I don't disagree. My one take would be, though, good product is good product.
Yeah.
And then if you layer narrative, storytelling, marketing on top of good product, you've got something. But like a shitty product is going to be a shitty product no matter. You open it, you feel it. Like Prizm was what it was because it was new technology, and they executed well.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay, go. Keep going.
I don't necessarily agree that a bad product is always going to sell poorly. I think if things are marketed, sometimes things are marketed that are shitty that sell well. That's a fact. And that continue to sell well. And services that aren't very good still are widely used because they are the best of bad options.
But long term, I don't believe that's sustainable. Like
potentially, I guess it comes down to
is Sapphire going to be around 6 years from now?
I don't know. I think we would all agree that Mosaic is a cool looking set, but that doesn't mean that it's going to sell well, and vice versa.
Lou does not like Mosaic. We've been.
I've gone the other way.
Oh, you have?
You know what I love?
Do you hear the cat?
Yeah, he's doing this thing.
He's
like the OG Prizm Mosaic, Luca, Trey, both have a good one.
Those are dope. I don't know why they didn't keep that.
Because they spun off Mosaic to its own product line.
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't that just be the base set anyway?
All right, next question. Michael Martinez. If the hobby does explode like Fanatics predicts, we have an insane head start on the rest of the world. Where are we putting our money? In things you would expect to have value 25 years from now.
Blue chips.
Exactly right.
What Ryan does very well. I think it's the hardest. It's so hard for me. Included.
25 years from now, what cards will people want?
Right? Tom Brady.
Do you think it's Joe Burrow? Do you think it's LaMelo Ball? It may be. We don't know, right?
What do we know, though?
Tom Brady's won 7 world titles. Michael Jordan won 6. LeBron's been to 11 and won 3 or 4. 4.
Peyton Manning is forever goated.
And now a media juggernaut.
Schumacher, from F1. Connor, Habib.
McDavid, Crosby, Ovechkin, Gretzky. The GOATs.
Correct.
The stuff that no matter what people, if everything in the sports card market dips, what's going to dip the least out of all of those things?
I think a fun exercise is to go back and look at, I've done this actually with my dad. You go back and you look at old Sports Illustrated covers from like 15, 20 years ago, and you look at who they're focusing on in those moments. And then you think about who we're focusing on right now on a week-to-week basis. And the blue chip conversation becomes a lot more clear and obvious.
Quick question: is Trout? Where does Trout end up?
Best baseball player of all time.
If he never has he ever won a playoff series?
He's never won a playoff game, I don't think.
If he never wins a playoff game, does that remain true?
Yes, I think so. He's so much far. He's far and away the best player in Major League Baseball. I think, of course, and I think it'll be a part of the conversation with him forever. But I still think he's by far the best baseball player of all time.
What's your thoughts, Ray?
Yeah, so I don't follow baseball as well as Lou, so I don't know this, right? So, but winning matters for sure in cards. It always has. There's a reason Dan Marino doesn't sell as well as others do, right? Like winning definitely matters. So it'll be very interesting, right? I mean, everybody like he gets talked about like Tom Brady or like some of these other, GOATs, but never being, I mean, it's just different with baseball because of how the salary cap works, right? It's not even like they can't even compete with, they're not even competing with some of these other teams. Now I realize the Angels,
that's not true.
They're not the Pittsburgh Pirates. They spend all that money. I mean, Lou's talked about it before about what they pay some of these guys. I don't know enough about it to give an educated opinion on, Mike Trout's statistics and,
I think there's too much room for other people to come in and be somewhat in the ballpark, but win. I don't know. But he may just have the stronghold, but like because the hobby, everyone has just accepted him as the greatest. Yet I just don't like give me a
all right, we got one more
game
question.
to watch.
We got to wrap this up. It's from Beta Sports Cards. It says, how much of a premium should an SGC gold label get compared to an SGC 10? Is there a premium compared to a PSA 10?
There's definitely a premium compared to a PSA 10 in my mind.
Like, you think an SGC 10 gold label is more than a PSA 10?
I think so.
I could not disagree more.
Yeah.
Couldn't disagree.
Premium over SGC 10, but I
there's nothing in my, like, the only thing in my mind at the moment that compares to a PSA 10 is a BGS 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. A BGS 10 is the only thing comparable.
Agreed. I'd put BGS 10 over PSA 10 personally.
Me too.
Yeah, I would too.
But I would not put SGC 10 gold over. I think SGC 10 gold carries a heavy premium over SGC 10.
And I think it's probably like if you looked at sales, I would imagine it's more than a BGS 9.5.
Agreed.
Like I would say it's not like a huge drastic difference between a PSA 10, but it's like if you're asking most collectors, do they want an SGC 10 gold label or a PSA 10? I have a hard time believing it's not 75% or higher would take the PSA 10.
Devin Booker Silver Prism rookie year.
Yeah, 10.
PSA 10 or SGC gold 10.
Yeah, PSA 10.
Agreed.
Yeah, there isn't a situation where I would take a PSA 10. I would pass on a PSA 10.
I would love to look at the numbers because I'm fairly certain that SGC 10s cost more than PSA 10s.
Golds.
Sorry.
You might not be wrong. My take still stands. I wouldn't trade one for one.
All right, so if you guys want any of your questions answered on the show in the future, again, check out the Facebook page. I'm sure it will be on the IG story at some point here soon, as well as Twitter, but it's Card Talk Pod on there. All right, so we got to get into the play of the week. As always, play of the week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so this is where Jason, the producer, fields plays. We talk about them live on the show. Lou, Tyler, and I have never seen them, so we'll get into these live and pick our play of the week.
Yeah, it's definitely harder.
All right, so Jay, the first one is going to be from Connor Benson 816 on IG. This is in April. I bought a Topps Gold Buster Posey rookie card at a 2010 as a PC card for a total of $77.89. Had no intentions of selling unless an opportunity came. The Giants ended up having a huge year, so a month ago I sent it to SGC in hopes to get it back before the playoffs when it starts to get hot around baseball. Ended up getting a 9.5 and putting it up for auction on eBay and ended the night before Game 5 against the Dodgers, so I probably got the most out of it I could since they got knocked out of the playoffs the next day. Ended up selling for $243.50, so doubled my money, including the SGC sub and eBay fees.
It's a standard. It's kind of your standard play.
It's a good job. with a PC card, like, hey, I bought this, had no intention of selling it. You know, opportunity comes up. Buster Posey he's an underrespected player in baseball, like in the wide world of baseball, in my opinion.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. Having it graded, having it ready to sell at some point. Yeah. Standard, easy play. Love it. All right. This is from Dubtown_cards. So Brian says, hey, my play of the week is I bought a 2016 Japanese Darkari first edition holo for my LCS at $2. Looked it over while at the shop and sent it to Nash Cards for SEC grading. It was $25 to grade and it came back at $10. Today I just sold it for $269.99. It was a pop 1, making my total profit $182 after fees, grading, and the purchase price. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Wow.
Yeah, this might be one of those pop 1 situations that we were talking about before, but that's a really good job. $2 or $27 to $270 or $182.
Someone made a comment that's stuck in my mind because I think we went into it maybe 1 or 2 shows ago. Your yawn just crushed me. I'm like holding back a yawn heavy.
My bad.
Someone made a comment like, is getting a good grade, a play of the week? I'm not sure, which is a little bit of this. Like, if this is a 9 or 9.5, like, does anyone have interest?
$40.
Yep. But
isn't that part of the game, though?
But I think
that's my pulling up to the local card shop.
Yep.
$2 buy.
Going through the value boxes, finding a card, checking the condition, taking the chance, grading it. Like, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, like that would be saying like an auction doesn't count as a play of the week because people just started bidding on it. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So I didn't want to go too deep down that, but I like it. I like Pokemon. I like Japanese edition. Like, there's
making $182 on one card that didn't cost you more than $30 all in. Like, that's not easy to do, and that I don't think we should frown upon that.
Agreed.
All right, Jay, next one.
I like the play.
All right, so this is from Queens City Breaks. It says, purchased this Herbert lot in the offseason of March of 2020 for $950, figuring I would sub most to PSA. Trusted the photos for condition and took the risk. The 2 purple scopes, top right and bottom left, as well as 2 of the base and the mosaic green red choice, all gemmed. Sold 1 of the 2 purple scopes for about $1,000 each, 1 on my slabs and 1 on eBay, and sold a few others in various lots, leaving me plenty of room and future profit for the rest of them. Overall sales for this lot so far have been around $24.50. I spent $950 on the lot and $50 per card on the grades. Still have plenty more to get out of this one.
Nice.
I love it all.
Yeah, so this is very similar to what we talked about kind of with like the UFC fight, where you buy some cards of a guy, you grade them, and then he hits and you've got him graded and ready to go, rather than buying him and then grading them while he's hitting, or why he's popping off. I think it's oftentimes helpful to have them already graded if you believe in a person. And obviously you can see right here, this worked out.
I first starting off Queens City Breaks. I like it. Herbert in the off season. March 2020. So was that what? Is he third year?
It has to be 2021. Herbert was rookie in 2020.
Yeah. So March 2021. So coming off his rookie year, I think it's a great lot. I'm a sucker for purple. I love the listing, 1 on eBay, 1 on my slabs. I have a little different options. Test the market waters. And he's got plenty more to go.
Yeah, I mean, up $1,500 and still has some left. I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah. And Optic Justin Herbert, he got a 9, 10, a 9, and 8. List them as a lot. Apologies, I keep saying him. It may not be a him. I think it's a great play.
Do you think that in situations like this, right? Like, I'm a big fan of taking your money and moving on, right? When you have 2 of these purple scopes, right? Do you think you're better off sitting on one and getting rid of like something else, whether it's like base optics or whatever?
So again, I think it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, right? If he's a younger collector and has like a total card budget of $5,000 and you buy this lot and you can make a lot of money, the way I look at it is typically what I've done in the past is I'll sell every single card in the lot minus 1. So then I make, he or she made $1,500 on this lot already. So now you have nothing in what's left, right? So if you've got a purple shock, a base, and an insert left, and they're all PSA 10s, I'm going to sell 2 of those and keep making my money, especially because as time's gone on, he's got more and more expensive. So you sell one, get a little bit of the money back. Sell another one, he's even hotter, you're getting more of the money back. Eventually you have nothing in the lot. So then I'm just piecing them out as I go. So I'm just continuing to make more and more money. But then I've got one, I'll save in a box. Because what I did for so long was I would just put one card from a deal in a box that was decent. And then the national would come around and I would sell the entire box and take that big chunk of cash to the national and spend it at the national. Because I was like, hey, I had nothing in this box, right? I made all my money back from these deals, but I took one card out that was worth something or I believed in that didn't affect me every day. I would take that one card, put it in the box, and then when the national would come around or Christmas or school would start and I needed money, I would sell the whole box and cash out and be like, cool, free bonus money.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's just something I go back and forth on a lot when you have these big lots and you're trying to decide what's the best way to make money on it or the best way to make your money on it. I guess the answer is always just make your money and move on. At a certain point.
Yeah, I guess, to each his own. Jay? All right, so we've got cardboard_chasers. So it says, back with a new play this week. I completed the 2021 Mosaic Draft Micah Parsons Rainbow early this year. I'm a PSU guy and love Mosaic. However, with Parsons gaining some hype, I opted to sell a few pieces. I paid $354 for the 101, out of 10, out of 25, and out of 49. I recently sold all of them for $1,027.15. After shipping and fees, that gets us to $890.40. That's a profit of about $536 in just 3 months' time. If I want more Micah, I'd rather have some collegiate NT or something like that. Thanks for the look.
This guy's selling for that much money?
Yeah, Parsons, like Cowboys, like we've talked about this before.
Cowboys plus Penn State.
Big college, big pro, sells very well. Ohio State was Zeke, right? You got Najee Harris, Alabama, Steelers. Like there's a lot of situations of stuff like this where it sells very, very well.
Good for cardboard chasers.
Respect. We are. Although I'm not a big Cowboys guy, but we are. And Parsons
look good.
Monster.
Unbelievable. $710 for the 101.
Yeah.
I love it. In the Penn State uni too.
Yeah, so this
it actually looks kind of clean in the jersey like that.
Yeah.
So I talk about this a lot when I go to shows, Ty. Like if I go to a show and I'm going through like a value box, like 101s or low numbered stuff, like bigger colleges, like that kind of stuff. Like I buy I was a college that always has sold well for me. So like I'll buy a low numbered Sean Green or Chad Greenway, or Riley Reef or Marvin McNutt, some of the Iowa guys from the last.
That's a good one, Marvin McNutt. I forgot about that guy.
Like those guys sell well. There's somebody out there looking for low numbered collegiate stuff of their favorite college guys.
That's crazy, man. That's such a blind spot for me.
What's our next show?
Like I buy it all the time. It's not like you're not going to buy it for $5 and sell it for $5,000, but 5 to 20 adds up at scale very quickly. So
this is such a blind. I need to get to a show. I was just so stunned when I saw these numbers. I hope that my face was on there. I might have been looking the other direction. I can't believe how much money these sell for.
It should be our stump the shop strategy. Just buy Penn State.
Now it's not.
Right, you didn't hear that. I need to get to a show. I'm craving a show.
Jay, is that it? Yeah, so that
I
looks
need a show on my list.
So I'm going with this one.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
Simple.
Yeah, this is obviously the winner.
Yeah.
Elegant.
Buy it if you have the ability to make money on it. Cool. Everybody's different, right? I can tell you I bought some cool Chase Young stuff before I could probably make some money on. Doesn't do anything for me. I enjoy it. But, like you said, he enjoys the NT more. He can sell it, and now he has that money when NT or Flawless. Like, NT comes out Wednesday. It's actually going to be on Latest Launch here in a second. And Flawless comes out in 2 weeks, Flawless Collegiate. So a Micah Parsons or a Micah Parsons patch auto from Flawless out of 10 for $250 is a third of what he sold the 101 for, and he's still got a couple $100 left. I like to play a lot.
We are.
All right. So that is all we've got for Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your #1 stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right. So last but not least, latest launch this week. You got a couple things. You got Mosaic Baseball Hobby, National Treasures Collegiate Football, 5-Star Baseball, Top Star Wars Chrome Legacy, Donruss Factory Sets, and Bowman Transcendent Baseball, which is north of $20,000 a box. Factory sets will be a little interesting from Donruss. They're about $200 a box. And they've got the whole base set of Donruss plus a 5-card optic hollow preview set, I believe, in them. It's like a 5-card pack. Mosaic Baseball, National Treasures Collegiate Football is probably the second best collegiate product of the year. If you're into college stuff, just below Flawless, just above Immaculate. So that could do well. 5-Star Baseball is a popular one. Big release week.
Big release week. Just so you guys know, I would like to officially predict that this time next week, the Astros will be in the World Series.
Wow. Astros will be at their home on the couch next Tuesday when we record.
Nope.
They're down 2-1?
2-1.
It's a long way to go, right?
Just get it back to Houston.
You think you're in trouble if it goes 3-1?
If it comes back to Houston, we're winning the series. That I will tell you.
Why is it 2-3-2?
2-3-2. 2-3-2 in baseball. Everyone, no one let me do that drive ever again. I never.
Who's on the mound tonight?
Greinke's gonna open.
Not sure how it's gonna go from there.
He's not stretched out, so he's probably gonna pitch like 30, 40 pitches. I mean, this time tomorrow, I'm gonna be getting roasted for this when it comes out tomorrow. I can feel it. I'm so sad.
Big night for the Sox.
Champions League football today. Champions League football tomorrow. 14.
What, Tyler?
Wow. We got Champions League football today and tomorrow. Pretty excited about it.
Ronaldo's been on fire, huh?
He started off on fire, and now United's in a world of trying to figure out what's going on with our lives.
That gives you a nice insight into like when the last time I was checked in on Champions League was. I guess it was like 2 weeks ago. Then at this point.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, you would have said he's on fire. It's been a tough 2 weeks for the boys.
That's tough. That's super.
All right, that's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Chicken snack wrap.
Big week. Appreciate y'all listening.
Peace.
Peace.